So this bumper I got from Barnes, like you guys suggested. I haven't even opened it up yet. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, that's gonna look nice. It's even got a spot for a winch on there. What kind of winch should I put on there? Ooh, it's gonna be so pretty. Look what just showed up. Wow. So, as you can imagine, there's not a lot of aftermarket support for a 1957 Jeep FC when it comes to bumpers, or anything for that matter. So I got a bumper for a JK, and I knew I was going to have to modify it, but I didn't know how much I was going to have to modify it. So after putting this on here, it's not quite what I had anticipated, although I can make it work. I can make anything work. I just have to put my thinking cap on and play with it a little bit. That winch is, it's like right in the way of the grill right there. And I want to push that bumper way back in. And these are going to have to get extended out or something. So I'll probably have to cut those off, do a little modification down there, and maybe turn that winch or mount that winch on the inside somehow. I don't know. I'll get it sorted out though. I've only had it a couple minutes and I'm already going to cut on it. Check that out. Much closer, much tighter. I'm going to keep working on that until I get that perfect. And when I'm done, it'll look like it fits on an FC. You just got to give me a minute. Alright, you're either going to love this or you're going to hate this, and I don't know which, but here it is. Here's what I came up with to make this bumper fit, and I really like it. So I took the old bumper and I cut it and I blended it with the new bumper, so it almost looks like the two have mated here. So here's what it looks like from the side. It's really recessed in there. I got it as close as I possibly could to the FC cab, and I think it looks really nice. I had to cut a hole right there, and then I welded the two together, so it looks like a little bit of mix of old and a little mix of new. And yeah, so I'm getting a lot of comments lately on this Jeep. A lot of good comments, but also a few negative comments of people complaining about the way I do things. You should have done this, you should have done that. Well, to those guys, I say, you can do whatever the heck you want with it if you build your own, or if you win this one. But until then, it's mine to do what I want. Right here, I'm going to have to build a little guard for the steering. It's very similar to the Jeep CJ, in which this was sticking out. Basically, the steering box was sticking out at the bottom of the bumper. The same thing's happening here, so I'm going to build a little box, brace, guard thingamabobber here to protect that. Don't want that getting knocked. And then it's so recessed in here that the winch is not going to fit upright anyway. So my plan is I'm going to build a little thing here, and we're going to turn that winch this way. So instead of being upright, it's going to be laying back like this. So that's what I have to build next. But everything else, I think it looks good. Speaking of weird comments I've been getting lately, a lot of people have been saying, if you don't cut holes in that bed, it's going to be a swimming pool. Well, tell me how that's going to work. I mean, that's the biggest, giantest hole you can imagine. How is that going to turn into a swimming pool? Also, a lot of truck beds, including my Tundra, they don't have drain holes in them. They don't turn into swimming pools, but maybe you guys know something I don't. I'm sure that's not you, though. That's not you guys commenting. That's those other guys. Tell them to hush. Got to get out my CAD design. Do a little bit of CAD now and then. Oh, yeah. After doing a little measuring, the tolerances are so tight that I might have to move that brake cable, emergency brake cable right here, over just like an inch, or as far over as I can anyway, and have it come out right here, because that winch, it's basically going to be whoosh, right there. And yeah, tolerance is super tight. I'm going to have to do just a little clearancing on the back here too, just to save that extra 1/4 inch there and bring that down. It's going to be super close, but I think I can make it work. I need to do those two things and then decide if I need to have this offset just a little. That brake cable needs to come through right here, and if the winch is centered in here, which would be more like that, then that brake cable is basically coming out right here into the body of the winch. Lots and lots to think about when you're building. It's not just about what looks best sometimes. Sometimes it's just what can work and what can't work. So that's what I'm gonna have to deal with. And that's what I am dealing with throughout this whole build. So let's get that situated. Maybe that'll work. It's super frustrating. I can't tell you how many times I had that brake cable in and out, and I finally got it perfect. I got it all bolted in, everything was situated, and then I go to put the winch in there and it's just a clearance issue, so it sucks. I don't know about you guys, but something came in the mail today and I am excited about it. Check this out. Those are my cup holders. So I got these on Etsy. They're vintage. They're metal covered in an enamel. This one is tan and green, and this one is green and green, and they match very well with the Jeep. I haven't figured out exactly where they're going to go yet, but that's looking like a top contender right there because it's nice and flat. I also got the seat belts in. I got those installed, so those are looking good. Back in 1957, there were no such thing as seat belts. So also on this bumper, we need to get back to this. I got it installed, I got it mocked up, it's looking good, but I still have a couple of things I need to do. I've got 2 bolts in the top, but I need to add something to the bottom, because right now if you were to take a hard hit, the bottom would want to just kind of pivot down like that. So I need to add some support or bracing from the frame over to the bumper with some sort of bolt, so you can remove it if you want to. don't want to weld it to there. You also have to pull the bumper. There you go. You have to pull the bumper to get the winch out. So it's fairly simple. Right now you just pull these 2 bolts off and the whole thing just slides out. So I want to make it simple for the bottom too. That winch fits in there very nicely. And I got something else. Let me know what you guys think. If you remember that orange FC that they built for Jeep, for Mopar or FCA. Blah! If you remember that, they had a big ol' honking light like right about here somewhere. And so I bought this one. I don't think it's big enough though. It doesn't really fit the part right there. I need to mount that and get back so I can see it from a distance. But this thing has a switch on it, and you plug it in to a 12-volt outlet, which I could wire that internally. But the back of it turns red, and then the front of it has a little work light on it or something. But I thought that would just be a cool little piece there, but maybe not there. Maybe somewhere else, I don't know. I'll figure out something to do with that thing. But I'm just feeling like the front bumper is missing something, so and down in the comments below, let me know what you think it's missing and what it needs. I don't want anything new. I don't want like LEDs. I don't want light bars. This thing is from 1957. It's vintage, and I want to keep it looking vintage, so I don't want anything fancy up front here. I want it to look rustic and antique and keep that patina. So what could I put on the front of this bumper to keep that feeling? I just feel like it's missing a little something. I don't know what it is. I can't place it, but maybe you guys can place it. Maybe you can tell me what it needs. I don't even care if it's not symmetrical. I like the look of that original FC that they built. It had that light over off to the side, just one off to the side, like right there, not even doubled up. So that was kind of goes back to the old military ones. The military ones had a piece missing right here. I can't remember what that was for. I read about it once, but one of the slots was missing. And so it looked kind of funky. It looked like asymmetrical. So that's kind of what I'm going for, something asymmetrical. Let me know what you think that could be down below. Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention. I keep getting a lot of people telling me what I can put in this space back here behind the cab and the bed. Well, a lot of things you guys are mentioning are like 12 inches wide, and maybe it looks wider on camera, but it's actually only that wide. So if you measure that, it's only about 3 inches, maybe 3 1/4 inches that I can fit right there. So it's not as wide as you would think. So keep that in mind. And I also have this piece down here. So if it's something deep, it can only be that deep as well, maybe 4 or 5 inches, unless it's only that half, that side, which would only be about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet past this evap canister right there. I know I had mentioned I wanted to maybe put a high lift jack in there, and high lift got hold of me, which I'll probably take advantage of that, but it's even too wide for the base. So the base is like this wide. So the base won't even fit in there. So I could take the base off and mount a high lift there. Let me know if that's something you guys want to see, but I just don't know what to do with the base. Also, the high lift jack, which unless I get a shorter one, that high lift jack there is wider than the whole bed. So it sticks out. It sticks out like that, which is kind of weird. So maybe I can get a shorter one from them. But anyway, yeah. Complicated stuff. Oh, I got it looking so pretty for that thumbnail photo. Check that out. Oh, yeah. That is nice. Oh, yeah. You might have noticed something else that came in the mail. I'll save that. for next time. Okay, back to the task at hand. We have the frame here. We have the bumper here. I need to connect that here. The way I'm going to do that, I'm going to make it simple. I'm going to take this 2x2, I'm going to cut the bottom off. And the reason I'm not using flat steel is because I want those angles to add a little bit of strength. And then I'll take that, I'll put it up on the top side of the bumper there, weld this to this, and bolt this to this. Comprende? You guys got it? That's the plan. Let's do it. Alright, I got 2 of those. All I need to do now is get the holes lined up between the 2 of them, drill them, weld them, paint them, and Bob's your uncle. If you've ever had to drill something upside down, you know it really sucks. So here's a little tip and trick for you. Put it on a jack. Check this out. Oh yeah! So much easier. Alright, now it's as simple as taking that piece, putting it where it belongs, then I'll mark it on the other side. I'll take that off and drill it on the drill press so it's easier, and then we'll bolt it together, then weld it together so that everything lines up. Alright, thanks for watching Whose Jeep Is It Anyway? The show where the design is made up and the looks don't matter. Remember, we're giving this sucker away, so make sure to check out the details down below. It's getting really close. If you didn't like this video, do not watch those videos. We'll see you guys in the next one.